jump you in. All right, welcome to the Daily Dirt with Dustin Diggs. We had a really great podcast earlier today,
Yeah, we did.
Mr. Joe Moore. You did a great job.
Yes, I did.
EJ Carter, which is St. Louis famous, even beyond St. Louis, and then Frost Money, another person that's real famous. Like,
Yeah, and
probably,
they're collaborating now.
I know, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Probably two of the biggest St. Louis musicians,
Definitely.
that ever around this podcast. But we're here with Miss Chamane Barbatti. We're going to do a little podcast about acting. We have a special guest that's going to be here, but he's going to. Oh, here he comes.
Hey.
Who is that, folks? It's Mr. Shane Foster.
Hey, you forgot my sunglasses.
Yay!
So, it's cool sunglass day, so we have to put our cool sunglasses
Yeah, I need
on.
to go get mine.
Okay. Chamane, when did you start really wanting to get into acting?
High school. Well, actually, when I was littler, like younger, I did a play.
Really wanting to get into acting?
Is that me?
That was you, but
That was definitely you.
wait, how old were you?
I did a play. I think I was like probably 8 or 9 or something. And then I really liked it, so that's kind of when that was my dream.
When you did a play in school?
No, I think it was Girl Scouts, actually. We did 'Twas the Night Before Christmas.
Then you start, so what, in high school you start taking drama classes? Did you do drama throughout high school and junior high?
Yes. So I took anything to do with acting I could. I took theater, design, acting. I would think they called it drama 1, drama 2, play production. Play production is when one of you pair off and one of you is the producer, one of you is the director. You choose like a 1-act play and you go through all the steps to produce it. You do you pick your play that you're going to do. You hold an audition and then you have to build your set and then you have to direct your actors. And that was the class. So like the whole class was just to this one day of having your play on stage.
So is that like the final or like?
Yeah.
Was that a stressful day for you? It seems
Yeah.
like it would be. Like the whole year just depends on that day. You've been planning on it the whole
Well,
time.
yeah, but you have an entire year to plan for it.
Well, a semester, because
Yeah.
the class lasts a semester. So by the end of the semester, you had to put your play on, your 1-act on. And don't ask me what the name of it was because I can't remember. All I know is it was 2 people on a park bench, so I didn't have to do much as far as scenery, except for get a bench, put plants around them, things like that. I think I got something in the back. It looked like a park.
So were you the producer or the director?
I was the producer.
You were the producer.
Yes.
So what does it mean in the movie industry or the entertainment industry when you're a producer? What kind of duties do you have as a producer?
You got to pay for everything.
Yes. Well, that's executive producers. I think have to pay
Yeah.
for everything, right?
That's it?
I think
You're just the
producers
cash cow for the movie?
Producers.
I feel like they
are in
find the
charge of-
locations.
in charge of the whole production. Make sure everything
the
runs
actors are
smoothly.
there.
Yeah, it depends on if it's like a television producer or a movie producer or a
So it's
reality.
different from.
Yeah, I mean, there's different types of
So-
producers.
So the studio provides the funds for the movie and the producer decides how to allocate those funds. Is that correct? And the locations and et cetera and et cetera.
The studio works with I guess the independent producers. So sometimes people produce or pay into but the studio kind of helps you with the distribution of the film and get to the theaters. You use their marketing connections and to get the billboards and all the press and everything. So it's same thing with the label. I mean, the label they might not actually produce the song, but they have all the connections.
Okay.
That's why you see a lot of actors. They're the producer because they fund the projects
Right.
that they have a lot of interest in,
Okay, that makes sense.
executive producers on something.
Right.
Did you guys take drama in school? I
did. Yeah.
You did take drama?
I did. I never actually acted in a play though. But I did take a drama class. It was more of a hey, I don't want to do any of these other classes because I don't know how to speak other languages. So let's do drama, that kind of thing. But,
You thought it'd be an easy A?
yeah, it ended up being a lot harder because my teacher was not so nice.
Ooh.
But I'm glad I did it
Yeah.
because I learned some things. So.
Oh, I loved my teacher. He was
Yeah.
awesome, Mr. Pierce.
How about you, Shane?
No, I haven't taken any acting classes, any drama classes, anything of the sort ever. But I have always had a deep love for movies and cinema for as long as I could remember. Like ever since, like I remember watching Martin Scorsese movies when I was little and thinking like, wow, that's a good movie. So, I mean,
I remember watching movies repetitively. Like,
yeah.
I would just watch them over and over and over. Like the same movie, like Police Academy and stuff like that.
Right.
You still did that even in high school.
I did, yeah.
Like the Tom Green and the Dave Chappelle. Every time I would come over to Joe's house, Dave Chappelle would be
Hey,
on
Matt,
the
want to
Dave
watch this
Chappelle
movie
show.
we've seen 60
Yeah.
times?
But he would watch the Dave Chappelle show like over and over again.
Yeah.
That's the first time I seen that show was at your house.
That's a good show. Like that was kind of before its time, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because I've never shown an interest towards acting at all, but I have had a love for cinema for as long as I could remember. And like up until recently, I started acting in like comedic roles, doing stuff for like ST Alive and other like short skits and stuff like that. So that's the only experience I have in acting. But I've always had like a love for cinema.
I did drama. I did it for 1 year, and then I hated it because I don't like what you're talking about, having to wait to like perform. So you build up all that time and that anxiety to get in front of people. Like I like to, sometimes I'm a center of attention. Sometimes you guys might not notice that a little bit about me. Sometimes at parties, but it's like when I want to be like that person, I'll be that person. But I also like to be very introverted. So like I don't like to, even with the ST Live, it's really not my cup of tea to like get in front of the audience and in front of a live audience. I like to do film where you can kind of do as many takes as so I can kind of get to the character.
Did you take a speech class in high school?
Like debate speech.
No, just like I guess debate speech, but like
Speech.
so
I think everybody had to.
For me,
Yeah.
like we had a speech class where we'd have to write speeches, get up in front of the class and present a speech in front of the class. And
I
skipped
hated
one.
that shit.
In my
I did
high
too.
school, the speech class teacher was also the drama teacher. Shout out to Miss Capugiak, Union High School.
Probably watching right now.
She's probably watching right now.
so proud of you.
She's a big fan.
The Daily Dirt with Dustin Diggs is a very popular show in Missouri, but she would have been a great teacher because like I had all sorts of social anxiety in high school, and I think taking that class like helped me learn how to deal with that anxiety and like talk in front of people. Like after taking that class and before taking that class, I was like a completely different person. It made me way more comfortable with talking in front of people. And like if I had social anxiety before, she definitely helped out a lot.
No, my social anxiety was bad. Like when the teacher would call on me and be like, "Okay, Joe, go ahead and read page 34 out loud for the class." I'm like, "Huh?
Oh, I
No,
hated
me?
that.
What?"
Hated
Like,
it too.
'cause,
Oh, yeah.
like on the spot. I could not read worth a shit in front of a bunch of people. Like, and then you hear people giggling and laughing in the background. But like to myself, I could read all day long. But like when they came to put me on the spot like that,
Yeah.
my anxiety got the best of me, and I sent it.
Especially it would come to like
Yeah.
kind of big words. Even if you knew the words for whatever
I know,
reason, you'd
yeah.
fuck up on
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Like you'd start to say it, and then somebody else, a smart aleck kid would throw out the word. And it's like, I was getting to that. Just give me a second here, like.
My most embarrassing moment, one of them happened in my speech class.
Oh, boy.
Today,
I
Junior.
hated it. Oh my God, I hated speech. So we had to do a method speech, and you had to like, my method speech was making cookies, which, as you know, people that know me know I don't cook.
So was it
That's
was
like
it
the worst thing I could have picked.
was it like one of those things where you had to write out step by step how
Yes.
to do? Oh, those are the worst.
Like, yeah.
Those are the worst.
So, like I said, I don't cook. I had to bring my mom's big mixing bowl and mixer with me to school and everything.
Oh, it was like a presentation.
Yes.
Like you had to show them.
I had to stand in front of the class and show how to make chocolate chip cookies. And so I've never used my mom's mixer before.
Oh, you turned on high, didn't you?
Well, no.
Okay.
So it was on high, and I plugged it in. Well, first of all, the first thing that happened is I couldn't get the beater on the mixer. I was like struggling trying to get the beater on the mixer. A guy raises his hand. Can I help her? My mom has the same mixer. So he comes up and puts it on the mixer for me. I was like, oh my God, I was sweating. I was so nervous. Then I plug it in and it's on high. So everything on there went.
It was already in the bowl with all the
Yes,
stuff.
flour everywhere. Flour all over me, flour all over the table.
Hey, and that's how you make chocolate chip cookies.
Everybody's laughing.
That's when that happens. That's when you flip the script. And then you go, okay, so this is how you don't make
do it.
cookies.
Yeah.
So
Well, I was too
it's
nervous to like try to figure that out. My only saving redemption was I gave everybody a cookie.
Were they store bought?
No.
Okay.
Has anybody ever had to do a best man or bride's?
Yes. I have.
speech?
Not
Yep.
yet.
I had to do one for my brother. It was.
Oh,
it
I
was
saw
brutal.
that. I saw
I
that
know you
one.
did. It wasn't. Like I don't know. I did okay, but it was not long. I'll tell you that. And I felt really, really nervous.
I always try to come in with a joke right at the beginning, kind of to make me feel at ease and
Oh my
get the audience
I hate
to
that.
laugh. That's like my.
Yeah.
That's like stand up.
200 people
Wow.
and you're having to make a speech. Ugh.
Yeah. I stood up in front of a bunch of people. It was actually whenever we were doing Music Combat, Matt, if you remember that. And I got on stage and I said something. I tried to make some type of funny joke about how things weren't going right or something. And like nobody was paying attention to me. So I said it and just stood there and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just go walk off stage now. What do I do? So yeah, I just walked off stage and then I was like, yeah, I'm not going to go back up there.
See, I've gotten better at addressing groups, but I haven't gotten better at eye contact. I've noticed that like when I
Yeah.
talk to people sometimes and I'm trying to like be funny or have a speech or whatever, like I'm really good at doing the speech and talking, but I'm not good at like maintaining eye contact with the actual audience. So, but yeah, it's been big steps from where I started, because I started really bad at giving speeches, really bad at talking in front of groups, and I used to have like an actual physical thing that I would have to do that have my mind halfway occupied on something else. So it kind of helped with the anxiety. I used to play with a guitar pick.
I think it's something, if you tell yourself you have it or it's a problem, I think it just makes it 10 times worse. You have to almost be like, I don't have anxiety, like knowing you have anxiety.
Especially
to
in the
get
moment.
past it. Yeah.
In the moment, like whenever you start feel weird and you get in your head like, oh, everyone's looking at me.
Yeah.
Like that's what makes it bad.
Even professional actors that you see on the big screen, big names, like they still have anxiety issues sometimes, especially if they're performing with another big actor they've never met, all that kind of stuff. They're like, so like, I don't know. It's something that doesn't go away, but I think it's more like a mind control in your head that you have to get right to be able to perform like you're able to, Otherwise
Yeah.
it holds you back.
Yeah, I mean, you're always gonna have that little bit of nervousness, but I think if you work at it and get a little bit more accustomed to it, you can kind of build and progress and get better at it over time.
Yeah, I think the most nerve-wracking thing is plays. Did you say you haven't done a play?
Yeah.
I haven't done anything.
Well, that's
Have you
still
done a
lives
play?
like a play though.
Yeah, it's all about timing, Like,
Oh, I guess I did do that. That STL, that Dance Club Daddy skit was live. That was actually
so
live.
was your
right?
DMV Dan and all those was in front of an audience, and you did the what's the My Kid Can Draw That skit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, that one I didn't even write, so I just kind of had to remember the lines.
You just
and
had to
do it.
read it off of Ben's cue cards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was Ben. So you got cue cards on that one.
Yeah, Ben's a fantastic writer,
Yes,
by the
he
way.
is.
So
He is.
any skit you're in that Ben does, it's like piece of cake.
Mm-hmm.
You have to try too hard to make it funny because the scripts are normally funny in of themselves.
Well, we'll get to STL Live here in a second. But so when you were in high school, drama, what made you like want to start doing films? And what was the first film that you did that was in front of a camera? And do you remember at the time?
So when I first started acting, everything was theater. Because there wasn't a lot of outlets to find films, there was no like STL live or STL auditions, or there was no internet to like look for those things. I literally, most of my things were like school plays, and then I went to Flow Valley, and then I was in plays at Flow Valley, and then also my mom and dad's church I was in a lot of plays there.
Is Flow Valley like a college or a trade school?
Community college.
Okay.
Yeah. And I remember trying to find auditions. It was actually through Riverfront Times. They had a section, and that's how you would find out if there was an audition, because you couldn't go online. They didn't have that yet.
Right,
I'm
like
old.
the newspaper?
Yeah, the Riverfront Times. That's where I would look for auditions. And some of them would be kind of sketchy. Like some of them would be kind of sketchy. You like wouldn't know if you.
Well, time hasn't changed with some of those.
Yeah. So I didn't really get to do a film till. Well, I forgot. I actually was an extra in one film when I was 16, and I was it was like about a werewolf. And my brother was in it. It was one of his friends. And so I came over and I was like an extra. It was like a party scene. So I guess that was my first film.
What was the film called?
And I don't remember the name.
Did you ever come across like,
I would watch that.
A film you had interest in doing and not knowing exactly what film it is going there, and then having it end up being like a casting couch situation where, like, you know, it's just some
Oh my
guys
gosh.
trying to hit on you?
I was just talking about this with that's weird that you asked that, because I was just talking about this with my mom.
Yeah.
So this is the only time that I've ever done this, but I backed out of a project. But I had good reason to. It was a series, and this guy, I'm not going to say names, but he was an older gentleman. Yeah. He was way older than me. And he liked to write himself as the main character, and he wrote his characters as always having a young love interest.
A Woody Allen action.
Woody Allen.
Sounds like Woody Allen.
So I accepted this part, and there was a scene I was supposed to film, and he said it was like he was a professor. I was like one of his students, and it was a fantasy scene, and he asked me to wear like a sheer negligee, and I'm like, no.
I'm already getting grossed out.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
Giving me the creeps.
I'm not doing that. I'm not. And he asked me like twice. I told him no the first time. The night before the shoot, let me back that up a second. So I kept asking him, what is the fantasy scene? Like, it was a dream sequence of me and him.
Yeah.
I kept asking him, so what's the scene? And he wouldn't tell me. He wouldn't tell me, like, this is what's going to happen. He wouldn't, like...
He wanted to get you there.
Yeah. He would not tell me anything.
Slowly into doing more and more, probably. Yeah.
So I kept asking him. So I even had a meeting with him. I went to his house, which he lived with his mom in the basement. That should have been a first clue.
Oh,
Sorry
boy.
for you people that live with your mom in the basement, and well, you know, the dude was 50 something.
Yeah, I'm 20 something, so it's not that weird.
It's okay.
Got 20-something years to go still.
Yeah, you've got a ways to go.
I'm moving out soon.
That wasn't aimed towards you.
Yeah,
but anyway, he was like an older gentleman. He was living with his mother. But anyway, so I went to his house. I tried to get him to explain what was going to happen in the scene. He still was like evading it, not telling me what was going to happen. And so the night before the shoot, I was really, really nervous about the whole thing. I just didn't feel right about it. He asked me again to wear a sheer negligee, and I was like, no. And so finally, I'm like, I hated to do it, but I wrote him an email. I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I said, I'm sorry. I don't feel comfortable. I'm not going to be able to do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to.
Peace out.
Yeah, I quit.
I feel like for any women in any position, any guy that is in their mother's basement for any reason, it's just a big red flag, no matter what the situation.
Yeah.
Like, oh, mother's basement, red flag. Like, it could just be any situation. And like,
So-
a woman hears mother's basement and a guy living there, he's like, oh,
Yeah.
no, I don't want anything to do with that.
So I quit, and he slanderized me.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
The casting agent that he used, she did not use my name, but she was like slanderizing me, and he slanderized me. He put my name out there on social media, saying that I quit. Now he was going to have to recast and reshoot every scene that I was in. And I was like, you know what? You're saying your
Trying
side of
to
the
put
story,
guilt
but you're
trips
not
on you, yeah.
saying what actually happened, to me,
Yeah.
what you were going to do to me, which
Yeah.
I was not,
Yeah, I mean,
that's unfortunate.
your side of the
I
story
think-
could ruin that guy's career.
I think
Which-
you come across
if
it
he
in
even
almost
has-
any industry, though, whether it be acting, music, whatever. Like you're gonna have somebody pushing you to do something you don't
Right.
want to do as a female. Like,
And so I asked him, please take my name down off your website, please remove my name, stop slanderizing me. There's a reason why I quit. You're not explaining that reason why I quit.
yeah,
He was just making it about, well, this actress quit my project and now I'm going to have to shoot the whole thing over, and that how irresponsible that was of me.
yeah.
So I had to literally contact my lawyer and have her send him a cease and desist for him to take my name off.
Oh wow, yeah.
Wow.
That sounds messy.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. So this guy, he's like, I have a dream sequence scene. It has you wearing this. What was it called?
A sheer. He wanted me to wear a sheer negligee.
Sheer negligee. So he's like, yeah, I got this dream sequence, and you're wearing this sheer negligee, and you're like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And he just didn't say anything.
Yes.
And then he's like, so I
Yes.
got this dream sequence, and I want you to wear this sheer negligee. And then you're like,
No.
no, I don't want to wear that.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. And I kept asking, please explain what's going to happen in this scene.
And he just
Would
didn't
never
respond.
tell me.
He
Would
just-
never
just like,
explain
so I
it.
just want you to wear this. That's so creepy,
Yeah.
man. That's so weird. That's so weird.
Yeah.
That's not normal behavior.
I mean, someone might have been able to do that scene, but it's not me.
Yeah, I feel
There's some people that would be
some
fine
people
with
will
doing
try
that,
to
but
advance their careers. I think, and guys like that will take advantage of it because people will see like, oh, I can make it somewhere. All I have to
And-
do is do what this pervert says.
yeah, exactly. And I had another thing happen to me. I don't know if this is good.
Oh
This is
no.
not good promotion for me.
We're telling you what not.
Well,
to do.
you've
Yeah, I'm
been
telling
in,
you what not to do, I guess.
you've been in
Careful
stuff
when
where
you-
this
you will
doesn't
come across
happen.
these type
Yes.
of people.
You've been in enough
Yes.
stuff where this doesn't happen. So
Right.
this is just the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I was in another film, and the director wanted me to do a nude scene, and I wouldn't do it. And I kept saying no. This guy wanted to do a hot tub scene.
Oh boy.
Yeah, with a guy and another girl, and I'm like, no, not doing it.
Yeah.
And then he proceeded to tell someone else, actually, Matt.
Oh,
He's-
yeah. That's
He said, well, Chamane's not going to get anywhere. If she wants a career in acting, she's going to have to do nudity, or she's not going to get ahead in anywhere.
Isn't
What?
that like the quickest way to kill your career? Like that's
Boy.
pretty much being like, okay, I give up. I'm not gonna make it anywhere else.
Yeah,
Like,
how big? This guy probably wasn't big at all, so he probably doesn't know
his day
anything
job
about.
is working at Walmart, not
Yes.
not Walmart.
Right.
I don't know if he's still there, but he
He's
worked at Walmart.
If you want to get anywhere in the business,
You're gonna
like
have to
some
get
Hollywood
naked.
hot shot.
Sorry, dude, not getting naked. Sorry.
well, let me go stock these trash cans. Like,
I mean, like I said, some people are comfortable doing that. I'm not one of those people.
yeah. Not for some guy stocking trash cans on the shelf at Walmart.
It seems like there's a reoccurring,
Especially
role.
when you're not getting paid for it as well.
There's a reoccurring thing I'm hearing with these stories where it's just like some creepy dudes who
Yeah.
just want to see some naked people.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm a director.
Oh, yeah.
They make creepy movies or with creepy scenes and whatnot.
Yeah, there was another
my-
group of
my
people.
whole point was as a female actress, you have to be able to filter those things. Otherwise, you're just going to get looped into things and constantly be sending emails about how you can't do this, you
Right.
can't do that. 'cause
Well, You just have to be upfront
Yeah.
with people and tell them,
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable
People are
doing
gonna
that.
push it on you one way or another, you know. So.
Unfortunately for me, that one, I ended up, I had to quit.
So did you read the entire script before you agreed to this, or did he send you in like parts?
No parts. He'd send me parts.
So that's the thing. Normally, and
There's a sign. If you don't get the whole
I'm
script.
this is me assuming. I'm not in
Right.
the business or anything, but I'm assuming if you're professional, you have an entire script written out, and you send the script to the actor or actress, and they read it, and they let you know if they're interested, right? Or they audition for the role, and then they read it, and then they let you know.
And most of the time,
Right.
if there's something
Yeah.
like that, they'll tell you up front, like, are you comfortable doing this up front before you even take the part?
Right.
And if you
Yeah.
say no, then they either have to choose, okay, we're going to go with somebody else, or, we can work with that, whatever.
Well, just hiring anything. When you hire a plumber, you're not going to be like, oh, can you fix this sink over here? Oh, yeah, there's a big fucking pile of
actually.
shit right here in the toilet for you. But can you fix the sink and can you, fix that problem too?
Actually, now that you just done that, my shower's clogged. Do you mind if
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to like lead their way, like just kind of get you to agree a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and they're like, oh, actually, there's this nude scene where you wear this Fabergé
Hey Shane,
stuff.
while you're here, can you check out this trimmer?
Oh my gosh, that's actually one of my biggest pet peeves doing small engine repairs. Like when they're like, hey, we just have this mower. I'm like, cool, and we fix the mower, we wrap it up,
Pack
and they're
everything
like,
up. Yeah.
well, since you're here, we got this trimmer here. Like, I want to go home.
If you could take a look at this other mower I got back there in the shed.
And I go, I'd love to. Let's do it.
Tomorrow.
You'd be like, are you good at fixing vacuums? And can you come and look at the vacuum too while you're here?
Nah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've had people have me look at barbecue pits, all kinds of crazy stuff.
Barbecue pits?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
propane ones?
Yeah, like, she's like, the igniter's not working. I said, I think the ignition switch is broken. That was it. Yeah.
I tell you what, if they're like little motorbikes or little four-wheelers, I'll look at those all day long.
Yeah.
I don't care. I like those.
Fun stuff. Yeah.
But like I'm not gonna work on your 12 weed whackers that you just so happen to have in your garage on top of the riding lawnmower I just fixed. Sorry, we're getting a little off
Yes,
track.
yeah. So as the internet came of age and technology got better, and you start acting more, and so you start using what the STL film wire was that the
Film
first?
wire.
Yeah, I used that
The
too
film
back in the
wire.
day.
Yeah.
I think that's how we met actually.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
thank you STL film wire.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Right on.
So go ahead.
So how long have you been acting? Like, oh, so you've been acting for a while, since
Yeah.
basically high school.
Yeah.
When was your first like professional?
It has to be like maybe
You've already-
5-10 years ago.
She started in the play, but then like
Yeah, I'm gonna-
she started doing the acting through Riverfront Times, and then now
Yeah.
at the age of the internet, there's this thing called STL Filmwire, which was like a group email. So it would go out to 800 people. There's 800 members at one time.
So when I was like, I think I was like 20, I tried to seek agencies.
Ooh.
And the first one I went to was Images. Yeah. Not
I don't-
impressed.
Why not? Why not? What's up with Images? Give us the
is it a
details.
money
First
grab?
off, with these agencies, what's their angle? I mean, do they find you work, and how much percentage do they get?
A lot of them are just money grabs. Like, pay me, I'll
yeah.
take photos of you.
That's
And
what it
then-
was.
Yeah.
That's what it was, pretty much. I don't know if they're still like that. Well, when I was
Some of
20, that's how they were. They wanted to make money off taking your picture.
There's not
And-
very many actual agencies that'll get you work consistently without having to pay money.
It's
for
like a pay-to-play scheme
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, well, really anything in St. Louis, there's not much commercial stuff coming through St. Louis. There's not many marketing hubs here. So a lot of the stuff that's shot is in Chicago, Kansas City, or somewhere else.
it.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to promise you the world, though,
Mm-hmm.
because, it's their job and they make money on it.
You're gonna be a star,
Yeah.
baby.
So I think I went and met with them, but I don't think I ended up joining their agency, I don't believe.
Kind of salt through it a little bit.
Yeah. And then I think I finally did get an agent like years later. And I didn't get a lot of movies with them. Got a lot of commercial auditions with them. I did get, well, one thing that's good about having an agency is when bigger films were coming through St. Louis, like Up in the Air, that kind of thing,
Yeah.
you were able to get access to them easier if you have an agent. So I was able to be an extra because of having an agent.
Yeah, because I know
So-
you've been in stuff before, and
Yeah.
you're not gonna, be staring right at the camera in the background like this.
Yeah.
You know?
So that actually did help to have an agent in that scenario. But at auditions, and I mean, around here, it's more commercial work than film work. So they're sending you out for like print jobs and commercials and things like that. I did do a
company videos, and
Right.
everything, Yeah.
But the thing with you is even doing commercials and doing like voiceovers and stuff. It's the difference between being a film actor and then like a commercial actor. You actually get to play like a character. For a commercial, you're kind of like just maybe a character, maybe a little bit,
Spokesperson,
Right.
Yeah.
but it's a
Yeah.
one day kind of thing. It's nothing like you dive into being a character like in a film.
Yeah.
So
You don't have
then
a persona.
I actually started doing a lot of, I think before that, I was actually doing a lot of like Webster projects. That's when I really started doing films.
What's a Webster project?
Like Webster University,
Okay.
a lot
Film
of those
program.
students, their projects are they have to make films. So they have to make short films or feature films or whatever. That's part of their,
yeah, they have a pretty decent film program there. So.
yeah.
Okay.
I actually wanted to go there, but couldn't afford it. It's expensive. But so I did a lot of films through Webster, and I met quite a few people through Webster that I'm actually still friends with today, and some of them have moved on to moved to LA, and yeah.
L.A.
So I have a question. So you just kind of naturally found your liking in acting through drama class in high school. Was there any like movies or actresses or anything in the movie industry that inspired you to get into acting or like pursue it more seriously?
No, but I'm like you. I loved movies. Like my dad, every week, every Friday, we'd go to a movie. Like he'd take us all to a movie. So I always grew up like going to movies all the time.
That was fun as a kid. I miss that.
Yeah, my mom would sneak in popcorn and
It's not
candy
the same
and-
anymore.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I mean, you can watch it at home, so who wants to go to the movies? I don't know. I still want to go to the movies, but I don't know. It's not the same experience it used to be.
so my dream was always to be in like an epic movie, like just something like everybody would watch like every year, or that doesn't get old, that you'd want to watch over and over again.
Yeah, your Christmas vacation or something.
Yeah,
like that.
something like that. Something like epic, like I don't know,
Like the Titanic.
Lord of the Rings or
of the
something, or something you never get tired of watching, and it comes on like constantly. Always wanted to be in at least one of those.
See, that for me, that's like Martin Scorsese films,
Yeah.
like Casino or Goodfellas. Like Goodfellas is timeless,
Yeah.
timeless. That's a perfect movie every
When
single
I was a
time you
little
watch
kid,
it.
I was obsessed with watching Pee-wee's.
Oh yeah, Big Adventure. Yeah, yeah.
That was my favorite movie for
Yeah.
the longest time. Yeah.
You know who I always wanted to act with, but can't anymore?
Yeah.
Sean Connery.
Oh, Sean Connery.
Connery.
Darn it. Sean Connery.
There he is.
Yeah, or I loved old movies. Like I love old movies with like Gary Cooper, Jimmy Stewart. I love James Stewart.
I can't find that film that you're in, Death of a Healer. I was going to kind of.
So for me, like there's too many actors and actresses
I know.
to name. Like that I'm inspired by as far as like cinema goes, but like directors, I'm really inspired by Martin Scorsese, David Fincher for sure, and Christopher Nolan. I think Christopher Nolan kind of like revolutionized film,
Yeah.
like the film industry. Like if you look at Inception and just watch the trailer alone, and watch it, most trailers that have come out since that movie, like they all kind of follow that template for like, like they'll have that big dramatic music and then it'll cut to black and then it'll open up and
experience.
it's
You
yeah.
said this to me yesterday. It's like he's like the new Stanley Kubrick.
He is kind of like the new Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's definitely like,
It's almost like you're going to go see a piece of art. as well.
Yeah,
So,
that's kind of how it is.
Yeah.
He's definitely revolutionized film, I think, and a lot of it comes into like writing. Writing takes it's such a big part of what makes a movie special is the writing. Because if you have a crappy script, it doesn't matter like the cinematographer, the director, or the producer. It doesn't matter.
Throw it all out the window.
Your writing is your foundation for a good movie, I think, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
I wish John Hughes was alive. I love him.
Yeah, I mean,
I love all his
If you
movies.
think about all your memorable movies, what do people remember about them? Not the scenes; they remember, the dialogue. So
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Sometimes.
you're right. You're right.
Sometimes.
The scene,
Not
the
always.
scenes is a little bit. The way it's shot.
Like, I mean, you got your Independence Day scene where all the flying saucers come in the air, like, and people see them and they're all covered in the sun, all that stuff, like that kind of stuff, So like, people remember that kind of stuff. But like, if you ask somebody like, "Hey, what's your favorite movie?" Like, they're not gonna tell you, "Oh, I love this movie because of this scene." Mm-hmm. They're gonna tell you, like quotes from the movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Parts of dialogue. So
I think there are some movies that can show that if a scene is shot correctly and the music plays a big part, and especially horror movies, like music, that build up of tension and all that stuff. Like, there's a lot of little parts that go into a scene that makes a scene very special, like cinematography, music, the way it's shot, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, if you don't have a solid script to work with, it's really hard to have a decent movie.
one of my favorite scenes, like the way it was filmed, was that last scene in the Hollywood movie with Quentin Tarantino did.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Brad
whenever,
Pitt?
whenever the bad guys break in.
Yeah.
Right, whenever he sicks the dog on him. Whenever he sicks the dog, and he goes, yeah, like that. Like, I was like, oh, just the way it was filmed, and like, the dog going right at him, like from his finger. Like they went like around his finger, like you could just see it. Like I remember that imagery better than I do, lines from that scene. So that's an example that's a little different.
I think that's what's great with Quentin Tarantino's writing. I think because since you're the writer and director, you kind of probably when he writes those scenes, he already
sees
has
them
the
in his head,
visuals of like the way it's going to be shot.
Yeah, I like to be in one of his movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's only going to do one more
Forever?
forever, and then he's done.
Why?
Quentin Tarantino?
Yeah, he's only
Why?
going to stop at 10. That's like the big
Come
thing.
on.
Oh, that's
Let's
it.
talk
Yeah,
about
no.
Hollywood.
That's been a thing for a long time.
Yeah.
He said he's only doing 10 films. After that, he's done.
Yeah.
But like,
But is that so he can take a break for 5 years, come out with one more, and have
No.
it be a big blowout? Like,
no.
Yeah, I like to do
Yeah.
Steven
everybody does that.
Spielberg
I retired.
movie.
I'm done. I retired, but one more thing. Yeah.
I want to do a Steven Spielberg movie.
Yeah.
Kevin
Really?
Smith, Quentin
Smith.
Tarantino,
Kevin Smith's one of my favorites.
and who else? Who's the man that made Titanic? What's his name? James
Cameron. James Cameron.
James Cameron.
He's only doing avatars for now on.
He makes
He has the avatars. He's still probably doing it.
big films.
I know.
Big films, like in scale and everything
Yes,
like that.
that's why I wanna
all
do
James
it.
Cameron films are like crazy expensive to make, and they turn out to be big
Very cool.
blockbusters. But like,
Exactly.
Isn't that who did Independence Day? Or who did that?
No,
Titanic,
that was,
Avatar.
Emmerich, or Roland Emmerich or something like that.
yeah,
What else did he
somebody-
make?
Who?
He did Titanic,
And Terminator
Avatar.
2.
The
Okay.
Abyss.
2.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
not
the
Alien
Abyss.
2. That was Ridley Scott.
Who did the Transformer movies?
He did one of them. He did one of the aliens.
The Transformer movies was Michael Bay.
Okay, that's the guy I'm thinking of.
Just thinking of Michael
that goes
Bay.
over the top with
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
I mean, like for an action movie, Michael Bay's what Michael Bay is the guy you want to direct an action movie. If you're going there just to see action,
Yeah, he was
Michael
like
Bay's your guy.
He's the first Marvel studio, I would say. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
His stuff was like big scale. Yeah.
Like as I've matured, I've found a liking towards like more dramatic, more indie movies.
Well, the whole format of storytelling has changed with Netflix and Prime Video with all this on-demand videos. It's so there's not really many great like 2-hour movies. It's like series now where you can really go in depth of those characters and
Yeah.
I disagree. I think there's plenty of good movies out there. It's just they're not as well known and as well like advertised because there's just so much stuff thrown in
I
your
feel
face
like
now.
back in the day, like, you know, movies that come out, like, and people kind of like latch on, okay, this is the good movie to go see. Everybody go see this movie. And I don't feel like that's there anymore.
Yeah.
Like, because there's so many, you know, like, and everything's just so spread out through all these different streaming platforms that, like, the big movies have lost their pop, their pizzazz, you know, like,
Well,
unless they're from those big people that already have had those movies in the past.
yeah.
So,
Well,
and then people are like, oh, it's their new movie. Let's go see it.
The thing is like there's tons of great
Like,
pieces of cinema that have been released that
I-
doesn't get a lot of like recognition or
that's what I'm
advertisement or
saying.
anything.
Like,
Yeah.
I want to see a Jurassic Park, but by somebody that's not already made a Jurassic Park, you know, like kind of thing. Like, not
Yeah.
necessarily a Jurassic Park movie, but that, you know, type of big, that big of a movie, you know.
They're hard to find.
You're probably not going to see that again unless
I know,
with
that's
the
what-
James
I
Cameron's
think
going to
it's
release
dead.
the other avatars,
Yeah.
but that's it. And then it's
So-
going to be a superhero movie. If whatever you're going
I
to
know.
see,
Yeah.
Cookie cutter.
Well,
Yeah.
that I think the superhero movies now is this generation Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park, right?
Yeah.
When you were a
Raiders of the Lost
kid,
Ark.
when you were a kid in the early '90s, you saw Indiana Jones and you saw Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
You saw just about any Steven Spielberg
You
movie,
want to know
right?
one of my favorite movies of all time is, though? Like, I don't know if anything will ever top this. Gone in 60 Seconds. Like,
Oh yeah,
that's
with
just a
Nicolas
great
Cage.
fucking movie, like all around. Like,
How's about you have a brick sandwich?
yeah.
I like that movie. I think it could have been casted different though. Nicolas Cage.
Do you didn't like seeing Angelina Jolie in
No,
dreads?
she was great. She was great. All the other actors were fine. It's just
good.
I like.
It's just
I
like
like her as.
Nicolas Cage was just a little over the top for me.
He's always
he
over the
was,
top.
yeah.
I
Okay,
love him,
I
though.
love her as Tomb Raider. Lara
Yeah.
Croft.
Yeah.
She's freaking awesome. It's,
So, in the middle of the pandemic, when it was getting really hot and heavy, and we were like in a legitimate lockdown, right? I did nothing but watch movies.
so do we.
I used a service where I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna use the P word, but I watched a lot of movies for free. A lot of new movies coming out for free. I watched movies like Jungle Land. I watched The Sound of Metal. I watched Ex Machina. Ex Machina. If you guys have seen that movie, who directs that? Is that Robert Eggers or?
Not sure.
That was such a good movie. I watched so many really good independent films, and The Lighthouse too. That was definitely a Robert Eggers film. I watched The Lighthouse. All those films I watched in the middle of the pandemic. I started really getting into independent film during.
Did you watch
during
The
that
Tiger
time.
King?
No, I couldn't really get into it.
I did. But
We
see, like,
did.
you know what? You know what's so stupid about it? I watched it all the way up until like the last 3 episodes. Then I never watched the last 3
didn't watch
episodes. Yeah,
the
exactly.
three.
Like, how are you gonna watch the whole thing and then not watch the last?
Oh, see,
3? So
I'm-
I don't even know what happened to the
I
guy.
have
know
to
he went
watch
to jail
it,
or
and
something.
even
but,
if I
like,
hate it. It's an OCD
See,
thing.
yeah,
people-
I haven't seen the rest of it yet. I'm like, okay, so he went to jail, right? Like, kind of. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know the end.
See,
It
people
sucks.
people were making it out to seem like it's such a crazy story. You gotta see it.
I only,
know.
I only
Yeah,
watched
it's the
it because
craziest thing
everybody
ever.
else did, and it was a good
was
3
stupid.
months. A good 3 months at least for everybody else had already seen it.
Well, yeah,
before
I watched a
finally
bunch of
watched it.
episodes, and I'm like, what?
I
Why,
know it's dumb.
Why should I care about this guy and his two husbands? What?
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Maybe this
And she
lady.
killed her husband, maybe. I don't know.
Why do I care?
Damn, Carol
Why do I
Baskin.
care?
And then she's on Dancing with the Stars. Kill your husband and you can be on Dancing with the Stars. What the hell?
I think that was just the one thing. That was the one thing during the pandemic that everybody just agreed to like go
Watch.
along with. Everybody agreed to go latch on to this one show
Yeah.
during the pandemic, and that was the Tiger King.
Well, question for you. So, if the pandemic didn't happen at that time with the lockdown, do you think that show would have been as big as it was?
No.
Maybe.
You think?
Maybe because there were shows pre-pandemic that people caught on to, and I'm like, why is everybody watching this? Like, why is everybody so obsessed with
Yeah.
this show?
Yeah. Definitely binged watched a lot.
I'll tell you one show that everybody absolutely loves and swears by
Ozarks?
that I could never get into. Not Are you kidding me? Ozarks? Ozarks is a fucking masterpiece.
What was it? Beverly Hills 90210.
No, it was Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's like, Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Oh, don't tell me.
Yeah.
Don't tell me the ending to season 3, episode 1. I haven't seen it yet.
I love Game of Thrones until the end.
I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Honestly, it was my favorite one. No, Britain, let me take it back.
Hey, I already saw the ending. So.
Breaking Bad is my favorite show. But Game of Thrones was my second favorite show until the end. And now I hate it.
And now you watch The Outlander?
Yes.
Because of the guy's sexy?
Well, that's not the only reason, but that
variety-
doesn't hurt.
It's a main
That doesn't
reason.
hurt.
The variety of TV shows available now is just ridiculous. Like you can literally watch a show about anything.
Well,
Well, it's over.
that ending
it's
made me
very oversaturated.
I mean, I'm not gonna ruin it for anybody,
Yeah.
but the ending made me so mad. I actually pisses me off that I watched all of it for that ending. It just pisses me off.
I think sometimes they make shows with.
Did
that
you
purpose.
have you seen it?
No.
Oh,
Well,
haven't seen
have
it.
you
No,
read
but
the
like-
books?
Like,
No, but I'd like to.
Didn't the
Have you read the
Sopranos
books?
just end
Because
and
if
cut
you
to
read
black?
the books, then you would know it doesn't end that way. It's a lot better than the
Well,
actual
that's
TV
not
show.
true.
Hey, did you read
That's
the?
not-
He actually didn't finish the book.
The books aren't finished,
Yes.
guys.
That ending had not happened
no,
yet because he hasn't wrote it yet.
Didn't the Sopranos just like cut to black? Like wasn't that? the
Yeah.
ending?
I don't know. I never saw that ending of
Yeah.
that.
That is how it happened.
Yeah.
So it came up to a big climax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't get to see what happened. It
So you
cut
have
to
to leave it
black,
up to
and
your-
that's the end of the
To your
show.
imagination, which I
So-
hate that shit.
Yeah.
A lot of people were
Well,
upset with
here's
it.
a question: What show actually had a great ending? No show's never had a great season finale. Tell me a series that had a great series finale.
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld
I know.
was horrible.
I know it was.
Well,
that was the worst. Ever.
I can
I actually didn't see it.
only
was it Friends
one,
horrible too? Like the last.
I
one?
think Ross and him, Jen.
Friends
Yeah.
made.
What's
no,
her name? I don't even know.
Friends wasn't that great. Will
Rachel?
and Grace wasn't that great.
I'll give you an answer, and it's not a popular one because it wasn't a very popular TV show, but it's the only one that comes to mind that had a very good ending. It's called *Halt and Catch Fire*.
Never heard of it.
Me neither.
Never heard of it. It's on Netflix, guys. You can watch it anytime you want. It's on Netflix. It was a show by AMC, the same studio that did Breaking Bad,
Walking
Better
Dead.
Call Saul, Walking Dead. They did a show called *Halt and Catch Fire*. The way the show starts, it's a salesman, a computer engineer, and a computer software developer. But she's like really young, protege. What's the word called?
Prodigy?
Prodigy. Yeah, she's a software engineer prodigy, right? She's very young, but she's like a fucking genius when it comes to coding. So the show starts off with these three people working at the same company, and they eventually make big stuff happen, and there's a lot of falling out. There's a lot of different changes that go on in their life, but at the end of the show, it all comes to a conclusion and a very beautiful ending, in my opinion. That's the only show that comes to mind off the top of my head that has a good ending.
All right, well,
Breaking
if
Bad.
there's people listening out there, make a comment what you think has a good series finale ending for a show.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't like the way Breaking Bad ended, but
You did?
probably not should
Well,
not say
no,
it.
but
because-
that might be.
I mean, it was.
Don't spoil it now,
Okay.
because there's probably
Yes.
somebody
Well-
that didn't see this 7-year-old TV show.
No,
Right.
I would say that would have a good series finale because they closed all the different.
I
like,
mean, they did.
plot holes, right? I mean,
They
they all
did,
ended,
but I
right?
just
Yeah.
don't like the way
They
it
had
ended.
that traditional Western ending where the protagonist rides off in the sunset, right?
Yeah, sort
Well,
of.
Like Game of Thrones, they didn't even like finish some of the plot points.
Yeah, there's holes in the plot.
Tons of holes with
yeah.
characters.
So mad.
So they showed a bunch of shit with going on with characters, and they never kind of finished like give a conclusion.
Is it one of those things where they just kind of wrapped up production? Like, okay, let's make this the last episode.
Well, I think it had to
Yeah.
do with everybody was making so much money, so they
They couldn't afford it, I guess.
usually season was 8 episodes, and I think they
it was 6.
it was 6 or
Yeah.
so they pushed it down to 6 or.
Yeah.
Do you guys watch The Walking Dead?
Yes.
I don't. I can't stand that show.
What do you guys? So they're on like season
Too
They're
many.
going on 11.
Season 2.
11, right? This is gonna be the last season.
Last season.
Let's
yeah.
hope so.
What do you think? Do you think they went on too long, or do you think
Yes.
this is the way it was supposed to naturally go?
They-
I
Jump
think
the
I
shark.
liked the show so much, I was into it till about season 5, and then I was like, okay.
When is it over?
That's it. Like,
When is
yeah,
this
like
gonna
season
end?
5, I'm like, all right, I've seen it all. Like, all right, you guys are just going to go somewhere else and fight zombies now? Like,
Well, you got to tune in next week, because next week, instead of shooting a zombie with an arrow, they might close its head in a car door.
Oh, yeah.
That's why you watch the
Or there
show,
might be a
right?
bigger zombie that's more of a threat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like they keep trying to get creative with those kills
Right,
too.
they do.
Yep.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
different zombies.
Yeah.
That, like, if you watch Talking Dead, they
Yeah.
showcase, like, who died in the episode or whatever.
I used to
and-
watch it religiously. I stopped at season 8 because the only thing that kept me going was Negan. Negan was a very good
Yeah,
villain.
I like that
Yeah.
character. Yeah.
And then they had their big war,
Yeah.
right, between the two groups.
Right.
And Negan lost.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, that's it. Wrap it up, right? Nope. Wrong. Wrong. They keep going with the story for like 4 more seasons. Why?
It's called money.
Okay.
Do you guys
so-
know what the first
so- ahead.
know what the first TV show was that appealed to teens? Like that was
Degrassi.
actually directed at teens and
Degrassi.
not an adult audience?
Degrassi.
No, it
Save
was,
the
Teen
Dog.
Life.
Party of Five.
Oh, okay. I know that
Yeah.
show. Yeah.
Yeah, Party of Five. Like it was a show they just started. Like they're like, okay, yeah, we'll give you a season here. Like they did it. Nobody watched it at all whatsoever. And then the war started. And then everybody, like Fox at the time, didn't have a news station, so people started tuning in and watching Party of Five. And then like teens are like, okay, hey, this is TV for us, and
Was
it just
it-
kind of caught on.
Was this before my time?
Yeah.
Yes.
When
Yeah,
you
it
say the
was.
war, are you referring to the Gulf
Yeah.
War?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
But no,
that's what I was
that
thinking.
war, yeah. But no, like Fox didn't have a news station at the time, so they just ran old episodes of stuff they had.
Really?
Yeah, like when they first started out, like the only TV shows they had like Married with Children and the Tracy Ullman Show, which is where The Simpsons came from. Like The Simpsons was originally on that.
All right, this is gonna be a really dumb question,
But yeah, Fox didn't have anything. They were a small little thing.
and I think I already know the answer, but I'm gonna ask it just because.
Yeah.
Fox, like the movie studio, Fox.
Yeah.
Do they own Fox News?
They did. They sold it though. They sold it
Did they?
this past 2 years ago.
So they've owned it for a while. That like right wing leaning news network.
Yeah, they have Fox Sports, Fox like television, Fox
Business.
Fox
Business.
Studios, and then
Yeah.
Fox. Yeah.
Why do you think they sold it? Oh, for
The
money?
guy that actually owns Fox is
He died, right?
No, he's Australian.
Oh.
Is something Murdoch, and then he gave it to his sons, and now the sons did something with it. Yeah,
Oh, I thought he died, and then his sons took
he's
over.
still alive.
Oh.
It's his sons take over.
Imagine like just being granted a news network, or like like imagine being granted that property and just being like,
yeah.
oh, I'm just gonna sell and get like more money than I know what to do with.
Yeah. Now back when Fox
Imagine
came
being
out,
that
yeah,
lucky in life.
it was CBS, NBC, and NBC.
ABC.
Or yeah, ABC. Yeah, it was the other one. Yeah, there's only like 3 different, shows that or networks that put out TV shows at the time. So you didn't have all your little small stuff that was on cable stations and all that really.
Yeah.
So
So back to Walking Dead. I want to ask.
Yeah.
Do you watch Walking Dead?
I
too?
did.
Okay.
I said
And
up
he didn't
until
like
about
it.
season 5, and then
So-
I got burnt out. I was like, I can't. do
Okay.
it
You know
anymore.
the scene. Because I feel like if the roles were reversed, wouldn't you think that Rick's group would be bad?
No.
If you were tuning in and the story was about Negan and his group, wouldn't you think Rick's group would be bad?
Not in the slightest.
Because they went to that like, I don't know what it was, that station or whatever, and like they
The
didn't know these
factory?
people, and they just like in their sleep killed them all. Saviors.
Yeah, you're talking about the factory part, right?
No, I feel like it was like a radio tower or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't even.
Yeah.
They haven't even met them yet. Like they just go to this place
and just kill 'em.
and they killed them all.
Well, I mean,
And then that's when the Saviors came after them because they killed their people. So wouldn't you think
well, you're not showing the
you-
part where Glenn gets his
that's after
brains
though?
turned into scrambled eggs.
That's after that happened.
yeah.
Well, you're not showing the part where they tried to kill Daryl and Abraham, right? Because they tried to like run in and be like, they tried to kill Daryl and Abraham, right? The guys on the bikes.
Yeah, but I think that happened after. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if it were switched around and we're watching the other group story,
I'll have to
You
go
know what I
back
mean?
and watch. I haven't seen it in years.
because they literally had not met them yet.
Yeah.
And they went there and killed those people without it. They didn't even know him from Adam. And then,
Yeah,
You know-
see, that's the other thing about The Walking Dead. Like, it made sense, but there were so many questions in my head that I didn't have answered while I was watching it that it was frustrating too. I was like,
Yeah.
why doesn't this happen? You know, like, and then
why
like,
don't they do this?
yeah, like I would ask it for like 5, 6, 7 episodes, and my question never got answered, and I eventually just forgot about it.
As the ancient Tibetan philosophy states, don't start none,
Yeah.
won't be none.
Yeah.
And that applies to the situation with Rick's group and the Saviors. Like,
Yeah.
Rick's group didn't just randomly go attack random people. That did not happen. Some shit was started against Rick's group, and Rick's group retaliated. Right? Is that what happened?
I don't think so. That's why I always thought, like, if it would have been like the show would have been about the Saviors.
No way. That's a good question though, because there's been times where I like, especially in season 4 when it was Rick's group and the governor,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
and the
Yeah,
governor
I
was
remember
kind of
those.
like
Yeah.
getting back into action. Like Rick's group, because they had a prior history, they were very hostile towards the governor's group. But like, I don't know. Like, the governor was kind of weird. He had like people's heads in fish
Yes,
tanks,
that was
and he
so
like
weird.
he like killed innocent people for
Didn't he keep
supplies and shit.
Didn't he keep his kid like chained up or something
Wasn't this his daughter?
in a room?
That's different though. That's different though, because like that's the human side of him showing. Like his daughter did die, and he just wasn't like ready to
He was
accept that
trying
loss.
to find a cure to bring her back
Right.
to normal.
That's
yeah.
a human side. That's you can somewhat empathize with
I
that.
can't say I wouldn't do the same thing. You know, like I don't know.
Right.
I would do that probably.
But like just like staging an ambush against military personnel to just kill them and take their guns. That part,
Yeah.
if you're a normal person, you probably can't really empathize with that too much.
Who's to say? I mean, in a situation like that where it's the end of the world, like I think my views would definitely change, and I'd probably just become an all-out anarchist. You know, I'd be myself.
Do what you have to do to
yeah.
survive.
Well,
Yeah.
you could be
I'm
like
not grooming up with nobody. You know.
you could be like the governor and get a bunch of followers and get them
Yeah.
to do your dirty work, or you could be like
So,
Herschel.
who
and
would you
can-
be?
You could live on a farm and
I
Would
would
you be
honestly
Negan?
like if it's something
Or
like that
Rick?
happened. I would go out to the middle of nowhere by myself or just with my family because I wouldn't trust anybody else well enough to not backstab me.
so you'd be like
You
Herschel.
know what I mean? Like for example, like you're teaming up with 4 or 5 other people. You're sitting there, you're living in a house together. Who's to say they're not going to eat all the freaking food or shit up over all the walls or something? You know, who knows? Like I don't know. In that type of situation, people's meanest and ugliest traits are going to come out. You know, so I wouldn't want to be around people I don't that aren't family.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you do that, but then these big gang of people are going to come through
Come
there,
rob ya.
come rob you. If you, it's just
Yeah.
like it's like living
Like
in
the
the
Civil
Wild
War.
West, like living in the Wild
I'd
West.
be I'd probably be in the middle of nowhere, but I'd set up little booby traps so I'd know if people were coming.
Just like Morgan.
Yeah.
He had
Yep.
a whole town rigged
Yep.
with booby traps.
Yep.
Yeah.
But by himself.
Oh,
He was
see,
going
I-
crazy though.
That was that one guy that
Yeah, he
wore
was
the
talking to
suit,
himself.
right? Yeah, he always said he had the suit on.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. I'd be somewhat like that guy. That guy was a little over the top of that.
So I used to follow that show religiously. I used to watch it like clockwork every Sunday. I'd
Yeah.
watch The Walking Dead. I'd watch Talking Dead.
Me too.
And I made it like that was
Let's
my
watch the show about the
It was-
show we just watched.
it was
Yeah.
my church, right? It was every Sunday I'd watch it like clockwork and watch the talk show afterwards to talk about the show we just watched.
Yep.
And I followed it religiously. But I feel like at a certain point they had a perfect opportunity to conclude the story, and they just kept it going for fan service.
for money.
Yeah.
For money.
Yeah, exactly.
For money.
Yeah. Wait,
Money.
we don't have to end this yet, guys. Yeah, like we can just keep stretching it out further and further. Like, yeah.
Well, that's what makes a good show and a bad show a bad show. I think
Yeah.
The Walking Dead could have been a great show if it ended.
Maybe,
I don't know,
maybe
4
my problem
seasons
was,
earlier?
I think a lot of
Maybe
shows. They
my
say
problem
that.
was I
Overstay their welcome.
I binge watched it too, so
Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch it from week to week. You know,
Oh, I
I
did.
think had I
Well-
watched it from week to week, I might not have just got as burnt out. But like literally for like 2 months, I watched Walking
I
Dead.
think I
Like,
binged the first 3
So-
seasons and then I started watching it week to
We
week.
binged Lost, and I think
Oh, yeah.
if you probably watched that back in the day when it came on ABC,
Oh yeah.
it'd probably be a better show from week to week because you talk about it. But we
Yeah.
kind of binge watched it because we didn't know about Lost back then.
I love you, Penny.
But that show was kind of like binge watching was as probably effective to us as it would be for watching it week to week.
So the first episode of The Walking Dead came right after one of the Super Bowls, right? That was like it was on AMC. It was on a different channel, but it was right after a Super Bowl, right? And they had a bunch of like advertisements for the show and everything.
Yeah.
I watched the first episode and got hooked. The day it came out, I was hooked.
Yeah, the first episode's a masterpiece.
Yeah,
but
it was a couple years after the show came out before I watched it. Yeah.
Well, the first season was very well executed. It had like what 4 episodes, 5 episodes maybe tops in the first season.
It grabbed me and pulled me in. They were really good about
And then
that.
It was good.
season 2 was kind of a snooze fest.
Yeah, I think it'd be a bigger show had they not drawn it out as long. They could have taken those, 11, 12 seasons now, something like that, and put it in 6
10,
seasons.
yeah.
They could have condensed all that in 6 seasons and not stretched it out as far because
Well, look at a show like Breaking Bad. Like Breaking Bad didn't start out on AMC. It started out with some other network and then moved to AMC, right?
I don't think so.
No, AMC's Breaking Bad has always been on AMC.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know the first like 2 seasons or the first season wasn't that popular, and then it started to gain.
It's after the second season, it started getting.
Yeah.
Started gaining a lot of popularity.
Because when it first came out, that first season on AMC really wasn't known for original content because it was, they'd play a bunch of the old films and things like that. Yeah.
Dude, a lot of my most favorite TV shows I've ever seen have come out of AMC. Breaking Bad, The Walking Dead, Halt and Catch Fire,
Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul, Hell on Wheels. Like those are like top tier TV shows. And I think
I haven't seen most of them.
Hell on Wheels,
I haven't seen that one.
Hell on Wheels is a good example of a TV show that ended well too. Cuz that kind of has the same stereotypical cowboy ride off into the sunset ending.
How did MASH end?
I don't know.
The Korean War ended?
Yeah, they left. Yeah, that was, I guess, a decent.
I didn't even watch it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to assume a show that revolves around the Korean War, they have to find an ending.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe the Korean War ended.
My dad used to watch that show.
Yeah,
I still watch it from time to
The
time.
show itself isn't horrible. I've watched it before, but like the music, the intro music, my problem with it was like I was allowed to watch TV at night when I was getting ready to go to sleep as a kid. But as soon as like the cartoons, the funny shows were over, MASH came on. So as soon as MASH came on, I knew it was time for bed.
And you hated
So I
it.
associated that music with fuck. Damn, I gotta go to sleep. So I get up for school in the morning. So it just immediately made me not like the show ever.
The green being in the tents, like that green color, I just can't stand. Like it made me because my dad would watch.
It's like
that
a dirty,
at night,
ugly,
too.
ugly color. Yeah,
Yeah.
grungy. Makes you feel like you're watching something from the 70s, even though it
everybody's in
was
a tent.
filmed.
It burns
not
its
in the
way in your
70s.
psyche after
Yeah,
a while.
that green color. Like I would never even do a graphic design of any of that thing with the
Oh,
green
and
color.
another one that it drove me nuts was what was the Kung Fu one?
Oh,
Was it a weekly show?
yeah, with the guy
Yes.
from Kill Bill. It was called
David Cassidy? Or David, is that his name?
Yeah,
David
Legends,
Cassidy?
Legends of Kung Fu or something. It was
I
called
can't
something
remember.
like
I didn't
that.
like
didn't
that
know
one
that was a
either. My
show.
family would watch that too.
I'll give you an example of a show that should have ended but didn't. And like ended horribly. Scrubs.
Never saw
You
it.
guys remember? You've never
Yeah.
seen Scrubs?
Yeah.
You've never seen Scrubs with
No.
Zach Braff?
Nope.
Yeah,
And
I wasn't into those hospital soap operas.
Yeah.
it was more kind of like a.
It wasn't a soap
Silly.
opera. It was a comedy.
You know what
Yeah.
show should have went on and didn't go past 4
Dramedy.
seasons? It's a comedy. I'll let you guys try to guess. It's one of the best shows ever.
Three's Company.
King of the Hill.
The main star of it was in Mallrats.
Oh, My Name is Earl.
Yes, like
Oh,
that show
yeah.
was great. Like
It
4
should've
seasons.
ended.
Like,
Nah, I think that show got old after the first season.
I loved
I
it.
would only
'Cause it's
see
like, when's this guy going to pay
season-
off his debts off?
I only see like episodes here
That's-
and there.
that's it. Like-
But no, what I saw was he was crossing number 256 on the list. I'm like, okay, I want to see 256 episodes of this shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You had that many things you did wrong.
Why would you start at 256? Why would you?
I
start
think
at
I can
one?
think of more than like I don't know how many is there 60 episodes of it or something. I think
Yeah.
think of more than 60 things Dustin takes to go around and screw up.
So, if you guys have seen Scrubs, like they go to like 7 seasons, and after the 7th season, they go to a season 8, and season 8 has an entirely different cast.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa.
Wait a minute.
Excuse me, why are we still doing this show? And it's not even in an actual hospital. It's at like a.
It's like Suburban Times episode 5.
It's like a hospital for like trainees. They're all like training in a different hospital. It's not even the same hospital they started at. It would be like if you watch Friends, right? And then like, you know, you do the season finale and they do another season after that and they're in LA.
Yeah,
and it's a different cast.
And I'll give you examples. Roseanne did that. She won the lottery her last season.
That was horrible. And then the whole thing was a book or something.
Yeah, Coach did that. He all of a sudden he went to like
Coach was a good show.
But but the last
that
season
show.
and then I'm trying to think the last one that did that they like jumped the shark and they totally changed it. I think House.
Yeah.
That House show, did they do something like that? That they took a season off that he was somewhere else, and then
Well, they're teasing that he was going to die or something, right?
Yeah, I think.
Oh yeah, because he was like sick or something.
But
House is a great show.
I'll tell you a good series ending. The Wonder Years was great.
Yeah, they had a good wrap up.
It's a.
I don't remember, but I don't remember it being bad. So.
Yeah, the Wonder Years. You never seen the Wonder Years?
Yeah, Fred.
Oh my
Savage?
God! Yeah, that's like
I'm young. I can't help it. I'm young.
best show ever.
That was another Netflix show for you to watch.
We totally went off the rail here, folks, talking about Miss Chamane Barbatti. We talked about movies and stuff, but I got to get Joe, and they got to work tomorrow, and we'll do 8 more minutes. So, what do you have working on currently? Just kind of do some pitches of what you got working on. We'll get you back though, because you do own the house that this podcast resides in.
You don't want to do a 2-hour show?
Yeah, what time is it?
We do an hour today, and then
Okay.
I'm hungry.
And then Joe Mort's been here since 8. And I love Joe Mort. But
STL Live, which our first show is going to be September 12th at Soulful Illusions.
Bump, 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 bump.
Also, Local Ambition, our red carpet event, season 9 is September 5th at Ronnie's.
That's downtown, right?
The audience like
South
Ronnie's.
County, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep. And the other thing I'm working on right now, I don't know exactly when that is coming out, but When Night Comes, it's a web series. So I'm not sure when that's coming out. Hopefully by the end of the year.
You talking about the pack?
No. When Night Comes.
There we go. Hey, I've been downloading new sound effects here. So
Ooh, what do we got?
that's AG eating.
Oh, my favorite sound in the world.
It sounds like he's looking at his fingers.
That happens a
Those are
lot.
big
I'm
Lou.
sure.
You're the best, brother.
He sent me that message.
Who's that?
And then this is guess
Don't
the
let him
movie.
get you, brother.
What is it?
You're the one.
Who is that one?
So that was from Tombstone. Morgan was dying.
I never sent you that one thing.
I like
Yeah,
I'm
well,
your
that's
Huckleberry.
what I was going to do right now. Is
I'm your Huckleberry.
I'd like to get a timeout.
Time out.
So hold on. Let me record it here.
Right
Well,
now?
do I not get a button?
You can have a button too. All right.
You want?
Button.
All right, ready?
Who's this for? Me?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Oh. Okay. All right. Time out. Oh. Okay. All right. Time out.
I think you need to do that. You start talking in the beginning.
Ready?
Oh.
God damn you!
He did it again.
I know.
Well, that's the thing. I
See,
I
when we
try to
point the
interrupt
finger-
people talking.
When I
Here
move
we
the
go.
fingers, start it.
Okay. Time out.
Okay.
Time out.
All right. Who else would like to record one?
I'll
I do.
one.
You go ahead.
Joe Moore's going to do one.
Mine's
Okay.
going to be just like Shane's, but something a little different.
Okay.
Wait a minute now.
Oh my god, we got our own.
Wait a minute now.
We got our own sound bite.
Don't let him get you, brother.
Don't let me get you, brother.
Man, I gotta think of something good.
You guys are coming up with this on the spot.
I don't know. What do you think?
What's something you say a lot?
I don't know.
What?
Do I say a lot? You saying to say what a lot?
What?
What? You saying I say what a lot? I do.
Yeah, you do.
I do. That's because I have selective hearing.
You could say, hey.
You want me to say what?
All right, go ahead.
What? What?
Wait a minute now.
All right, there we go. We got some.
Wait a minute now.
We'll hit stop on that one. All right. So we got some good ones there, folks.
Okay. Also, if anyone needs anybody for any acting jobs, let me know.
I'm available for acting as well.
Yeah.
Available
you can
for
catch me
hire.
on
Strapping young man.
Shane, this is Shemane's
I'm sorry.
podcast.
Yeah, quit hijacking my podcast, dude.
We'll get you a podcast that you can talk about you.
Dude, he talks about himself every podcast.
I kind of do.
I'm just joking.
That's why I have my own podcast. So I can talk about
Okay.
me.
Try to give him his own.
Okay, so Chamane Barbatti on Facebook. Oh, I thought you had it up.
Yep.
Facebook. Chamane Barbatti on Instagram. Chamane Barbatti on Twitter. Chamane Barbatti on TikTok.
That's a unique name.
And also Snapchat.
Just real quick, last thing for the podcast. Chamane is a unique name because if you type in YouTube, you come up. Where did you get that name? And why did you get that name?
It's from a movie.
I always wondered that.
Whoa. Okay, you can play that timeout thing real quick. If you got it recorded.
Don't let him get you, bro.
Wait a minute now.
That's not it.
Wait a minute now.
So you're telling me that your name isn't actually Chamane?
No, it is.
Oh. Well, now I'm confused.
Say what? What?
So
What?
What? I thought you were saying
What?
that you use that name
What?
to get.
What?
I thought you were saying you use that name to be more.
No, it's
special.
from a movie.
Chamane's from a movie.
Yes, a character's name from a movie.
But it's also your actual name.
Yes.
What
So
movie
that's
did it
how
come from?
my L said with Sophia Loren and Charlton Heston. So my mom and dad saw the movie, and Sophia Loren's character's name's Contessa Donna Chamane, so that's where the name came from.
So did they see
So,
the movie
my
the
mom-
same time you were conceived, or
I don't think so. But
So-
I don't know.
so they're
Maybe
like-
that's a question I
they're,
need to
they're like,
ask.
"What are we gonna name her?" Well, it was the night we saw that movie with.
We'll name her Chamane.
Yeah,
Yeah. So Chamane, and then my middle name is Marie. That's
some
after my
people
aunt.
get their names like
Chamane
that.
Marie.
I was named after a cowboy.
Oh yeah.
You guys remember? Don't go, Shane.
Shane,
Shane.
come back, Shane.
Come back, Shane.
Wait, but
Don't
your-
go.
Come
Your
back,
parents aren't
Shane.
that old to even see that movie.
See,
Yeah, they are.
your name's from a movie too.
Yeah.
My name's from the Bible, originally.
Yes,
Joseph?
Matt's.
Yeah.
Matthew John.
Well, there you have it, folks. The whole story.
Thank you for our late night podcast here on the Artists United Network. Check out our sponsor. What's our sponsor, Shane?
Obviously, 420 clothing brand.
Yes, that's right.
And Chamane Barbatti.
And Shemane's a sponsor too of the show, since this is at our house where we do this fine podcast.
Fine podcast, if I do say so myself.
Decent.
Definitely check us out again. We'll see you tomorrow.